I own a small, low-volume dog grooming salon. I have 3 full-time employees and 1 part-time, and last year we did $422,000 in sales. My question is there a certain percentage, like just a general rule, that I should be aiming for my payroll to be at, given that I'm solely service-based with no retail, any other income sources?
No, that would change from industry to industry. What you should be looking for is a return on investment. Obviously, in other words, you've got to make more per groomer that you hire than that groomer costs you. So if you put someone out to do grooming, did you say it's mobile?
No, it's a salon.
It's in the salon. Okay, so if you put someone in a bay, so to speak, and you set that bay up with equipment and you put them in there and you pay them, the cost of that equipment plus the cost of that payroll, then what's the grooming income versus my cost, right? As if it is a little individual standalone business.
Got it. Okay.
And then that you want to look at that, and obviously you've got to make a return on that because you can't lose 25 cents a watermelon and get a bigger truck, right? We got to, we've got to make money each time we add that. And the good news with that particular position, and sometimes in business, there's two types of positions we hire for. Ones that directly ROI and others that indirectly ROI. Direct ROI is like that. Like you hire a salesman, they're on commission and salary, and they sell X number of dollars, and they cost you Y number of dollars, and the difference is called profit, right? That or a dog groomer, they're going to bring in, you said you had 4 people, so maybe they're bringing in $50,000, $75,000 a year, and they're costing you $25,000 or $30,000 a year, or whatever it is, right? And so I'm making a spread on each of the hires. That's an easy hiring decision once you've got those numbers figured out, and as long as you've got enough dogs coming in, enough volume coming in to keep everybody busy, you can add those for days, right? You can keep adding and adding and adding as long as that happens, as long as you got space. But the main thing is if you got enough business to keep them all busy. If you do, then you're going to make money on every one of them. The other type of hire is the harder hire in terms of financial analysis or mathematical analysis, and that's the indirect hire, meaning like my personal assistant doesn't create revenue, but she does work that I don't have to do. That allows me to go create revenue. You follow me? And so that becomes a profitability of the overall company then with your indirect payroll people, and that's like accounting or marketing marketing they usually cost justify themselves. But anyway, you're looking for something that when the type of position doesn't lend itself to cost justify itself standalone, like an indirect, like I'm talking about, then you've got a more difficult thing to analyze, and you got to look at the overall profitability of the company, and can we use up some of our profit to get this work done to protect us or cause the other people in the business to make more money. An easy example of that for you might be if you paid someone to be the booker, and they book all these appointments for the dogs to come in. They don't actually make the money. The groomer actually makes you the money. But the booker, without the booker, the groomer's not as busy and not as efficient, so they do end up indirectly paying for themselves. You follow me?
Right, yeah.
So, but yeah, you just keep all of that as a total in your profit and loss and go, okay, obviously, I've got to make more than anyone here. I own the place. I'm the one taking all the risk. And on top of that, I've got to get this work done, and I've got to take a chance and scale this. So you scale it as fast as you have business to keep the clippers clipping and the bookers booking, and then you put on top of that. But there's not an actual ratio. It's because some businesses are going to be more labor intensive, payroll intensive than others. And so you might have a very small payroll. Another thing you could do to measure it is we look around here, we look at our revenue per team member. So I got 1,100 team members, approximately $300 million in revenue. So I'm looking at that ratio per team member. What is our revenue? And our revenue per team member, because we've got a lot of analog traditional businesses as well as digital businesses, is not that great. Our revenue per team member is not wonderful compared to other, like a pure digital business. Their revenue might be 10 times what ours is per team member. And that does end up affecting profit too as well. But it's a decision on how you're going to build the business, and in your case, you won't have a choice. You've got to have the groomers to grow it. So, good question. Good question. Sounds exciting. Sounds like you got a good deal going there. Hey, thank you for calling in.